Hi guys, it's Ruthie and Clay with the Pople Backyard Farm. Branch, our dog, is resting. I'm cooking some lunch on the grill, just fish sticks and tots. And let's see here. Clay is in the garage. We're cleaning up the garage, moving things around. He's going to be doing some measuring. What are you doing back there, babe?
Measuring.
Beehive stuff?
Yeah.
So we'll take a little peek at the quail. Baby quail doing great. They're about ready to move into the bigger cage, correct?
Yeah, I've got to go put them, I've got to clean out the brooder in the back and put the chicks in the brooder. They're getting jumpier.
Oh yeah, they're ready to move on to the next phase of their life. So Clay's been cleaning out the garage. Thought I'd take a minute to video. The birds haven't really found the feeder.
I cleaned out the park, mowed the park.
The park?
Ruthie's park.
Yeah, my park over here. This is my park. Ruthie's park. Let's see, I'll walk over here and show you what he did. Can't make this too long, guys, even though I'm enjoying videoing, because I have those fish sticks on the grill, which I just put on, so I figured I could take a little break and do a video. So there's my little park. We planted some sunflowers and different wildflowers behind those flags, elderberries, so I'm excited. This little pine tree that he did earlier, I'll go over here and show you this. Oops, if I can. We got some new growth on it. I don't know if you can see it. I had to go back to my old glasses for anybody that has a cast, because when I sleep sometimes I bump my eye and I don't want to scratch my new glasses. So let's see here, what we doing, oh, he's sitting over here, he's measuring. Well, I might as well show what he's measuring for. We may move the beehives here, and so we're just figuring out how much shade they're going to get. And so, working on things. This year's really a prep year more than anything, and there's nothing wrong with that. The nuke we set up, we're pretty sure these were just robber bees. There just wasn't that many to begin with. But there's bees coming in and out, but it's just not acting like a hive. So we think it was just, we think it's a robbing situation. But right from the get-go, we were feeling like it wasn't quite the way it normally goes. So he's measuring and doing figuring, which is a lot of things that Clay does are like design, figuring out stuff. He also helped me do some of the dishes this morning because it's hard to do things one-handed and I can't get my cast wet. So Clay's been doing the double duty, helping me do different things. He had to help me wash my hair, and I can do it somewhat by myself, but I needed to get a good washing in. So here he is, doing some figuring for some bee stuff. Can you hold this for 1 minute while I go check the grill and talk? I'm enjoying talking to you guys, but I don't want my fish sticks to burn. So
Well, what I'm actually doing is I'm doing my figuring for how high off the ground I want to be without have to do a lot of bending to work with the bees. So I wanted to do a measurement of how high the hive is to keep it, how high off the ground to keep it, so that I'm not doing any back-breaking work when I go to harvest honey or anything else. Doing it all waist high and whatever. Then I have to figure out my the way I'm going to stack my blocks so that everything's off the ground. I can mow around it, weed eat around the bottom. Maintain. So what are you working on, dear?
Fish sticks.
Fish sticks on the grill.
Yes.
And tater tots.
Fish sticks and tater tots. I'll just let you guys see what I'm making for dinner. I'll bring the camera over here. Okay, guys.
One more thing you can do on the grill.
Yes, we have all kinds of meals we can show you on the grill. Tater tots and fish sticks. If you're like us, we're super lazy. Well, we're not lazy. We have bigger, better projects. So we decided we were eating outside all summer. So you just buy some of these cheap old dollar store containers and you can cook your food. No dishes, no mess, paper plates. Toss them out. If they're not too dirty, we clean them again. And no, we are not lazy. We're just busy, right? He's like, not lazy. No, I think Clay and I are definitely not lazy. But he's going to take this again because I can't close the grill with my cast on. Here you go, babe. Isn't this fun? I'm glad you guys are family.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're family. You got it the wrong way.
I guess I do. You had it aiming right towards me.
It's a twisty weird.
All right, how long you got before they're done?
Sit down.
How long you got before they're done?
Because
we got the clock there to keep an eye on things.
Guys, probably about 10 minutes. It's really not cooking that fast as I'd like, but I'll keep my eyes on them. So I'm glad you guys are as relaxed as we are. Because when you visit our channel, it's like going to your grandmothers, your sisters, your brothers, your son, your daughter. We're just here for relaxation and fun. Because that's what we do, huh? So we got up this morning. We watered the garden. Clay helped with the dishes, as I said before. Then I said, let's go sit under that pine tree. And whenever we sit down, we start to brainstorm, it seems like.
And as I've said in the past, you get one project done, 3 more take its place.
I know it. And then we walked in the yard and we started thinking about, well, what about this and what about this? Should we talk about the chickens today or another day?
I don't have any chickens, honey.
I know. Tell them why. Who made you not have any?
Harold came by and wanted some more chickens. And Ruthie said that she convinced me that with us falling down all the time, and by the end of the day we're so tired from the projects we're doing to have enough energy to go out and take care of the chickens, which we have to anyways, that we're probably better off getting rid of them. That way we're not falling during the winter doing them.
First of all, too, because I know a lot of people look into homesteading and off-grid and all this stuff. Having chickens is not saving money. It's a fun hobby. Yes, you get eggs. We don't think. Do you make money selling?
You don't make money selling eggs enough to pay for their feed.
Or selling chickens. So for the average Joe, it's just because you want it for your family.
If you want it just for a hobby, more power to you. That's great.
But it's not a money maker, and it's not a saver. It's not a saver either. So it's not the money, it's the fact that...
No, it's not the money. It's I enjoyed them because I enjoyed the chickens. But I've been doing it for over 40 years, having chickens as pets and for eggs and whatnot. And all the money I've spent on chickens, feed, and chicken supplies and that, I probably got to add a new car or a new truck.
Well, everybody has a hobby. Some people...
It depends on what you're doing and how you feel about it.
Right. Some people like to crochet. Some people like to knit. We like to have a backyard farm. So that was our hobby. We didn't go on vacation. That was our fun. And we still might do chickens again in the future.
Oh, that's why I'm not getting rid of anything.
Yeah, we're not getting rid of anything. All we're doing is taking a break. And because I said to Clay that it's like, here's your sign. The second time I fell with my arm and broke my wrist, I said, it could have been you, which would have been worse if it was Clay, because he had his hip replacement. And so I said, this is it. We're not doing any more animals that we have to walk out in the winter. Quail, nothing. Everything goes by the snowfall. We can buy something again in the spring at the auction, enjoy it through the summer, and then sell it in the fall auction. And, you know, like example, we could buy meat chickens if we felt like it. Or, you know, where we could get chickens through the summer. But I don't know. As far as having outside animals, I mean, this is the stuff you got to think about when you get into homesteading and stuff.
The bees pretty much take care of themselves. You only have to check on them like once a week to make sure everything's fine. Or during the honey season, you may work a couple of days with them. But they aren't relying on you. They rely on themselves. Self-reliance is a good thing for animals. The cat's pretty much self-reliant, other than she wants to be fed once in a while, but she goes out and hunts her own birds and mice and rats and moles and everything else, so she's pretty self-reliant.
And the dog is good for protection, and he helps us a lot.
He's right on us all the time anyways. It's not like we have to go chase out back for him or whatever.
Wherever we are, he is. He's our baby.
I'll probably get chickens again someday, but...
Right. But...
Might buy them in the spring and get rid of them in the fall.
Well, we both have to build up our strength because Clay had surgery and his strength was drained.
It drained me right out, muscle tone and everything. I'm starting to get around a lot better now lately. I don't have to worry about relying on a cane or walking stick or anything else.
But 5 years from now, we might do everything all
5 years
over
from now,
again.
I might be jumping through hoops. Who knows?
But we have to build up our strength and stuff. And these are the things that we like to be honest with you guys, because so many of you are younger and you're looking into homesteading. And, you know, it doesn't mean that you have to do everything every single year. You can take breaks. You can rethink, regroup, and adjust it for your family, like raising your kids. Train up a child in the way that he should go, not the way everybody else in the world tells you. You got to make, you know, some kids are good at repairing things. Some people are book learners. Doesn't mean one's smarter.
I've done all that with the birds. I've had emus. I've had peacocks. I've had turkeys, chickens, geese, ducks,
pheasants, pigeons,
rabbits,
rabbits, goats,
I've had all
cows,
of that. Guinea pigs. I went through all that for years. And now's my time to kind of cut back a little bit.
So you've got to, I mean, that's the thing. We want to teach, you know, and help. And you know, some of you are older. Some people...
I'm retired.
Yeah.
You might want to travel a couple of days.
Our channel is not a homesteading channel. Our channel is about our backyard farm. Our backyard farm can be gardening. It can be whatever we choose that year. It can be raising parakeets or... whatever.
Feeding the wild birds. I mean, growing plants, growing household plants. Ruthie loves doing that, so that's just her hobby. And
it could be farm and household. But basically, it's the story of a country guy and a city girl making a life together. And for us personally...
And if you like sharing our experience, it's fine. I mean...
Yeah.
I show you how I do things. If I'm making a cage or something, I try to show you, and if you pick up a few hints from it for your own backyard farm or whatever, it means a lot to us that you appreciate the time with us.
But one good thing, guys, for us, which you don't want, and it's maybe some little YouTube advice, is don't back yourself in a corner with your channel. You don't have to be about one thing forever either, you know? So with us, we're a little of everything. Let me see if I can open this with one hand. Ta-da! Not quite ready. Did you like that, guys? But it's just, you know, we just are enjoying life every day and having a good time. But we did want to tell you about the chickens for a season. I have a feeling we'll probably get chickens again, but you never know. Clay could decide to, you know, he does do a lot of building and designing. He may decide to design something, maybe, who knows. We don't need to build a tiny house because we just we build tiny houses all the time.
We might want to build wire cages around the wild bird feeders so the cat can't get them. You never know what we're up to.
Right. So I guess I just wanted to share that about the animals because I want to have you really, I don't want you just to watch your channel. I want you to think like when 5 years from now you might say, oh, it's getting too much for us for whatever reason. You can say, you know what? I remember the Pople said that got too much for them for a season, so they got rid of all their chickens and animals for the winter, and they did all right. And and I literally felt, because I've been around it for 10 years, like I was going to cry when we got rid of them. But I also know that it was the right thing for Clay's sake, and I felt like it was a sign from God.
Well, with everything going on,
yeah,
trying to get the bees set, trying to get the barn roof on, the buildings set, putting walls up on the building, I myself felt that I wasn't neglecting them per se, that I was starving them out or anything, but I didn't have. I used to.
You
just
weren't enjoying them.
I used to enjoy just setting a chair up back at the fence and watching the birds.
Yeah, we used to just sit out there and watch.
I haven't had a chance to do any of that yet this season, and here we are almost to the July 1st, and most of my spring and summer is going, and I haven't enjoyed the chickens whatsoever.
It's just, for us, we just felt that we're not getting the joy out of them, and all we're getting, I guess, like I said, how do I put it? When I broke my wrist the second time, I felt like God's been telling not just me, but Clay too, to slow down, and it was better to have me hurt than him. And I just felt like we need to let go until we feel a go-ahead, because it's just not worth it to get somebody hurt, slipping down that hill. You know, Clay has to do extra snow blowing, and he already has a bad hip, and he just hasn't been able to recover because every time he turns around, he's got heavy work to do, and he needs to take a break, I feel. And if it would have happened to him, he would have blown it off, but because it happened to me as his wife, normally I let Clay rule the roost, but I said, I'm not helping you. If you do it, I'm not helping. And he knew. He came out of he left the chicken pen one night, and he shut the door, and he goes, you're right, we're done. He wasn't fussing with me about it, but we've been talking about this actually for a few years, that when is that day going to come that we're going to have to stop, and it just came.
After I did all that yard work that day.
Yeah.
And then I had to walk back and take care of all the quail and all the chickens, and my feet were killing me from the start, just from all the walking around and filling in holes in the yard, things like that. That by the time I was done doing chores, I was just exhausted. All I wanted to do was go in the house and kick my shoes off and call it a day. And that's not good at 6 o'clock in the evening.
And this isn't just for older people. I remember when I was 9 months pregnant with my son, I worked myself to a frenzy. And, you know, it's not just being older. It could just be a season in your life. Maybe you have your workload at work is too heavy. Maybe your kids are going through something. You know, well, it doesn't... Sometimes you just have to take a break and regroup and think what's the next step. And that's what we're doing.
You may have other things on your mind, like taking kids to soccer practice or something.
Exactly.
You don't have time to be doing this and that. So you just have to regroup.
You got to do what's best for your family, and for us, this is what we felt was best. But
for right now,
right,
like when I get a lot of these big projects taken care of, cleaning the garage out, painting the building, I had to put sides on this, putting the barn roof on, different things like that. Next year I might have plenty of time for chickens. So.
Exactly. But we did want to give you guys a close-up look, especially if you're older, before you sock all your money and everything that you own, to think, gee, there is going to come that day. And it's not, you know, yes, we all believe for great health, and we trust God for that. But sometimes there's just seasons that we go through, and if you have surgery or you have an emergency, you need to be aware that you might have to adjust.
And these little projects, like the bird near the mailbox, or the bird out at the rock, or this bird feeder. These are little projects that just help me keep my mind together, to get my mind off on all the big projects I've got to do along with it.
And the thing, I can't emphasize this enough, Because this year I also stopped doing some of the things that I like to do because Clay was retired. I stopped doing product reviews, writing my blog. That when you lose one dream, God gives you a new one. Always. Doesn't he?
Yeah.
And it's usually bigger than the last one. So my dream this year is to play more with my YouTube.